What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Legitical Response. We cover political news, we keep you up to date and keep you informed so you can stay in tune with what the government is doing, because the government does some underhanded stuff all the damn time. And we need to stay on top of that crap because they pass bills, they pass legislation that we need to know about. So if you're interested in staying informed and staying on top of that stuff, do me a big favor and smash that subscribe button for me and turn on your notifications, because YouTube isn't just going to pop my videos up in your feed all the time. You got to go look for it sometimes, but, you know, that's how it happens. If you also could, before we get started, do me a big favor and look right below the video and smash that like button for me, if you don't mind. It would be a big help, and it helps the channel to grow and prosper. But what's up, everybody? All right, so we got government shutdown coming up, and people are starting to get riled up about it, and, you know, the media's going off, oh, we got government shutdowns, partial shutdowns coming up, and blah, 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 blah. And they're trying to blame Republicans on it, which, you know, Republicans are in charge, so it is their fault. So when you hear left-wing sources say, oh, it's Republicans, it kind of is. Yeah, you can blame McCarthy for that. You can blame McCarthy for all of that. Some people are trying to blame Johnson, but you know, what can you do? I'll lay blame with McCarthy because he had X amount of months, like 8 months, to get some of this appropriations work done. And he squandered all that time away trying to make deals with Democrats and trying to do all this other stuff that I just didn't happen to agree with. Ended up having to do a continuing resolution and got the damn boot for it. Now we got Mike Johnson, who's done 2 or 3 resolutions by this point. However, you know, with what we talked about the other day, I think Mike Johnson may be doing this on purpose. Because if it goes past a certain point, like we talked about the other day, we're going to get some pretty decent spending cuts. That automatic amendment that Thomas Massie put into the CR that was first passed by Kevin McCarthy, that automatically cuts everything all the way across the board by 1% in spending. Yeah, that would be amazing to have. And that would be a major accomplishment for the Freedom Caucus, to be honest with you. 1% spending cut. I mean, now, to be honest with you, we need a good bit more than 1% to get back on track to balance our budget in the government. But 1% is a start, right? Let's get into this right quick. I love how they frame this. Biden is summoning congressional leaders to the White House to talk Ukraine and government funding. By the Associated Press. So dramatic. Check this out, though. President Joe Biden will convene the top 4 congressional leaders at the White House on Tuesday to discuss the emergency aid package for Ukraine and Israel, as well as avoiding a government shutdown next month. Yes. That's according to the White House official who spoke anonymously to discuss a meeting not yet publicly confirmed. So they're going ahead and writing an entire article for this. And guess what? I'm covering this possible meeting. I just wanted to talk about government, because that's all I seem to talk about these days is government and what the White House is doing. Okay, the reason I covered this is because it sounds like Joe Biden is calling up the Senate and the House leaders to beg them to pass the Ukraine aid package. That's what this is all about. And we got, you know, Chuck Schumer and Mitch McConnell, they're all down for it. Yes, blow up kids in other countries. Who cares, right? That's what they say. But Mike Johnson, you know, he's a little bit more reserved in his thinking. He doesn't like blowing up kids in foreign countries and funding foreign wars that we shouldn't really be involved with whatsoever, especially since we're not trying to stop these people from fighting. Like I've said it before, you know, you don't see 2 people fighting in the street and then go start rooting for one of them because the other guy started it. No, normal people don't do that. When you see 2 people fighting in the street, of course, most people just ignore it and keep walking or watch it or Most people don't go up and try to stop it, but that's what you should do. You know, people with quick judgment skills that have their moral clarity to them will run up in there and try to stop the fight. That's what we should be doing. We should be trying to stop the fight. Who cares who started it? You shouldn't be fighting. Let's work out our differences. But for some reason, people can't seem to understand that. They just want to start egging it on, right? Hey, this guy doesn't have... let's give him brass knuckles while he's fighting this other dude. Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's throw a soda can at the other guy because the other guy started it. That's childish and immature, right? So we shouldn't be acting childish and immature when it comes to funding foreign wars. They're killing civilians, for God's sakes. I don't know why anybody would be okay with that. But we've got Lindsey Graham and, pretty much the entirety of the Democratic Party, and then most of the Republican Party, which most of the Republican Party are Republicrats, right? They're not Republicans. They're not true conservatives. That's one reason we can't get ish done in Congress, is because we've got people that claim to be Republicans, but they're not. And we get blamed for stuff they do. Hey, they're not Republicans. Sorry. But let's keep going. The top 4 leaders include House Speaker Mike Johnson, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, House Democrat Leader Hakeem Jeffries, and Senate Republican Leader Mitch McConnell. The Republican-led House is facing lots of pressure to pass a $95 billion aid package for Ukraine, Israel, and other national security priorities. Let me read that again, just in case you didn't hear that correctly. The Republican-led House is facing lots of pressure to pass a $95 billion aid package for Ukraine, Israel, and other national security priorities. I would really love to know what other national security priorities they're talking about, because Ukraine is on the other side of the world. That's one. Israel is also on the other side of the world. And, we all know that $95 billion aid package also includes the Indo-Pacific, which once again is on the other side of the world. So, whose nation are we talking about here? Whose national security priorities are we talking about? Oh, we're talking about securing Ukraine's border, securing Israel's border, and securing Taiwan's border. I know. I rail on this all the damn time. They are more worried about securing foreign borders than they are our own border, and we are currently being invaded by people from all over the world. Lots of Chinese people are coming across illegally. It's not necessarily about the migrants. Of course, when there's too many of them coming across, we just can't handle that many people coming in. That's obvious to anybody. Let me know in the comments. But it's the fact that the cartels are operating with impunity with the assistance of the Biden administration, right? You might be thinking, oh, he's being hyperbolic again. I'm not being hyperbolic. Because, for one, the Biden administration, CBP, knows that every single one of those illegal migrants have to pay the cartels to come across the border. And what does the CBP do? They just say, hey, come right on in. We're going to bus you off to wherever the hell you want to go. Immigration law be damned. That's basically what they're saying. And now the Senate doesn't want to take up impeachment articles because they're very partisan on this matter. Oh, well, it's not a high crime or misdemeanor to violate federal immigration law, to lift the fence and let migrants just come right on in illegally. That's not against the law, according to them. And now they're trying to gripe at Republicans and blame Republicans for not passing border security right? I love how they call it border security, and I think that's what they were trying to get at in that article, right? But that bill failed. We all know that bill failed, and it failed for a very good reason, right? And I'll give you an example. All right, say we got high gun crime, right? The way to resolve gun crime is to make it not illegal anymore. Now you can go off and just shoot anybody you want to, as long as you don't kill them. That's what they're doing. They're codifying illegal migration. They're reducing illegal migration to zero by making it legal to cross our border anywhere. Just come right on in. That's exactly what they're doing. That's what that bill would have led to. So it pisses me off when they say, oh, Republicans turned down border security. They must not want the border secure. No, you don't secure the border by making it legal to come across our border illegally. That makes no sense whatsoever. These people know this. They're playing politics, so don't let it get to you. But I've ranted on for long enough. And that's, I guess, my rant for the day. Let me know if you agree or disagree down in the comment section. And that's all I got, y'all. Thanks for watching. And y'all try to have a good one and be positive. Peace.